sects. The point is that the Indian state has failed to recognize it, and also there has been no reportage or no, for my knowledge about this. I come from there, I see it there, and I've been trying to talk to whoever I can. I wanted to ask you this question at India Policy Foundation, but I couldn't. How does the Indian state, or what would be your suggestion to the state and the intellectuals, how do they counter this? Because there is a strange scenario in India that the leftist, whose ideology is an anathema to the Islamism, share the dice with the most vocal and most radical Islamist that India has ever seen or produced.
Let me address that. It comes back to my position that most non-Muslim Indians have no clue about Islamism. And even amongst those friends of mine who are non-Muslim Indians, they are simply unaware of what's happening in Kashmir and in Pakistan. I am astounded that tens of thousands of Hindus would be thrown out of Kashmir and the Hindus of India would just shrug their shoulders as if it didn't matter. It is inconceivable in any country where the majority population would be ethnically cleansed from a certain area. Now, if from my perspective, I'm outside. I can't even suggest that I'm an expert, but I'm a student of Kashmir history. India has messed up its international maneuvering and propaganda to such a degree that I think that Indian bureaucracy runs the Foreign Office, Babus run it, no sane person could do that. That every year you get insulted at every international meeting by a very powerful, aggressive speaking Pakistani diplomat, and your only answer is bilateral relation between two parties settled in Shimla in 1971. And you can imagine you're a representative of Congo, you listen to the Pakistani listing what's happening, and you listen to the Indian, you can't figure out what he said. And then the smug attitude of the Indian diplomat that I don't have to do anything. This morning I was hearing that it is closed case. It is closed case. What are you talking about? Can you speak in English, please? Nobody can. Yesterday's debate on Kashmir on the Goswami show, I was astonished. I could have represented India better than the multiple levels of Indian who were there making a fool of themselves, being ridiculed by the Pakistani delegates. Can't Indians put a point of view together without saying Article 1, 5.3, 6.5, page 2, turn? Are you in the era of carbon copies? When you have email, you made a mess of yourself because Indians don't understand Kashmir. The Kashmiri pundits don't understand Kashmir because there is an element of guilt in fighting back. I would not have left. I would have fought back and died over there if I was a Hindu pundit. You have to fight back, and how dare somebody say that this colony is being set up and we will oppose it? Huh? So, is there an outrage in the rest of India that, or in Tamil Nadu, or Bengal, or Mumbai, that this happened? No. They're saying, Rokla banana hai, yaar, ye chakkar mein kahan Kashmir ke phas gaye. India rising, India shining, khatam. Our Prime Minister wears good suits, goes to New York. Fabulous. Madison Avenue, takreer kar di. Or Toronto mein dekho, kya maza aa gaya. You didn't know that the Pakistan embassy had funded 5,000 anti-Indian Sikhs and Muslims outside that zone. That most of the reporters were talking to the Babbar Khalsa guys. This is your government's fault in New Delhi and the elitism that the MPs have. I met, anyway, I shouldn't, it was confidential, but I've been to Srinagar, I've been to Jammu, and illegally. I said the worst they could do is send me back, which is okay. I went by road, I would come back by road. I wanted to check that out. But when you see a village on top of a mountain, glittering with electricity, not a single light off in Kashmir, and you see that not even in Switzerland this has happened, and you find out they're not going to pay the electricity bill, right? Is that how it's happening? Yes. So, and India doesn't know that. I, as a Pakistani, look there and say, yaar, this is at 2 in the morning. They are draining your power. They come and bomb your city. They attack Lok Sabha. And you're worried about tomato prices would be better if we have trade with Pakistan. How dare you think of talking to Pakistanis? Aman ki Asha, spit on them. How dare does these evil women come over here in stilettos and red lipsticks and charm the pants of every Indian who goes there, who goes to Goethe Institute was so lovely. That was terrible. Only a defeated people will entertain their enemy and exalt them at a high place and object to anyone asking them a question. You were there when I asked that question of a woman who didn't know where Meerut was because her grandfather came from there. She proudly said, there's a city near Delhi, it's called Meerut.
Tarikh, you're digressing. Can you just answer his question
Yes.
about radicalism?
Radicalism. Okay, thank you. Thank you for correcting me. Radicalism can only be eradicated if Pakistan is dismembered. Very simple. The Islamic State of Pakistan is the first Islamic State of Pakistan. You acknowledge it, you accepted it. In 1971, you had a chance to wipe it out or demilitarize it. You didn't. In Kargil, you had an opportunity to go straight to Baltistan, but there were new films being released in Mumbai, so the army came back. You need to get some Kajuns to fight and stand up for your rights. Aman ki Asha is the main thing. You wipe out Aman ki Asha, you go to Wagah where you have all these high-flying rooster-type steps and tell the Pakistan army, aapki army hogi, hamare Boy Scouts honge. Parity nahi hogi. There is no parity amongst mass murderers and a democratic liberal country. I am not trying to be a hawk. I am suggesting to you, and I am not saying this lightly, the world's problems are centered around the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, its state military, its multi-billion-dollar industry of manufacturing terrorists and flinging them from Philippines and India to Indiana. It is, if Pakistan can buy the Assistant Secretary of State of the United States, and India can only give, what, $5 million to the Clinton Foundation? Is it possible? You should have bought the Secretary of State if Pakistan bought the Assistant Secretary of State. Lekin rokna lagta hai. You want to fight Islamism, you destroy Pakistan, dismember it, and tell Punjab as a landlocked place, start speaking Punjabi, then we'll talk to you. Number 2, you want to talk about Kashmir, you'll have to speak in Kashmiri. Can you imagine? Let me play this out. Your diplomat goes and speaks to a Pakistani in Kashmiri. And the Pakistani says, I don't understand what you just said. Well, it's your damn problem. You are talking of Kashmir since 70 years. You don't understand Kashmiri? To hell with you. Next time you want to talk to us, send a guy who speaks Kashmiri. You will find no one in Pakistan speaks Kashmiri. That is how you win the war of propaganda. Not by saying, oh gee, we had bilateral issue in Shimla 1972, a POW exchange, this is bilateral. Bilateral? At least pronounce the damn thing bilateral. Mazak uda rahe hain duniya bhar mein. You want to go there, speak in Kashmiri. How many people can't you train to go there? Send Umar Abdullah, say, teri pitai hogi, up go to the United Nations and be India's representative and speak in Kashmiri. Not your mother's English. Not a single Indian has spoken at the United Nations in Kashmiri. Let the Pakistani say, yaar, ki keh rahe, samajh nahi aa rahi. Every Pakistani thinks that Kashmiri is a Punjabi dialect. Do you know that? Do you know that none of UK's Kashmiris are Kashmiri? Do you know Lord Nazir is not a Kashmiri? That nobody in Muzaffarabad speaks Kashmiri? You've got everything in your hand, but you don't want to look across the border. You got too much aptards and secularists and prostitutes. You're so busy inventing stupid words that mean nothing. How dare you insult journalists by saying prostitutes? Who are these people who devastate secularism by calling it secularism? कौन है ये? और they are your friends, by the way. You better tell them your only answer. ना 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 सर जी ਤੁਹਾਡੇ यार ने सारे. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੈਕੂਲਰਿਜ਼ਮ ਦਾ यार नहीं है वो हिंदुस्तान ਦਾ दुश्मन है. ਇਹ ਤੁਗਾੜੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕਹਿ ਦਿਓ ਤੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਲੰਗਰ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕਹੋ. You don't believe in secularism, go to Pakistan. Khalistan चाहिए, Pakistan जाओ. That is Pakistan.